I am probably the first person in human history to demonstrate superconductive magnetic levitation of gold on my kitchen table. Or somebody else may have done it on their kitchen table, but I did it on my kitchen table. And for a while I was carrying this stuff around in my presentations and demonstrating it, but it all jumped away, so I don't have it anymore.
So what'd you do with it? Did you eat any of that back? Did you eat it?
Yeah.
Ate it all?
No. I ate a little of it. Mostly kept it for demo purposes. Superconductivity and other quantum coherent properties have been observed in biological systems. Stuart Hameroff and Roger Penrose. Stuart Hameroff was in the movie The Secret. And when he was working with Roger Penrose, they demonstrated that there's some kind of instantaneous communication system in the tubulin, the liquid inside of the microtubules in every cell. Dr. Mae-Wan Ho in the UK, Roger Penrose is in the UK too, Dr. Mae-Wan Ho, she has also speculated that quantum coherence is the nature of communication, biological communication in the brain, throughout the body. Dr. Glenn Rain has done quite a bit of work in this realm as well, and speculated. Dr. Peter Garriev in Russia and others, they talk of quantum coherence in every cell as the key to consciousness. There was an Australian gentleman who used to be a rocket scientist, and when I did it in my presentation, he said, "Oh, I actually have calculated how fast nerve impulses would have to travel in order to play ping pong, table tennis." And because he was a rocket scientist, he had to calculate how fast these electrical impulses have to travel to keep the rocket from falling over. Because that was a big problem early on, is they launch these rockets and they fall over. They had to get these jets that would respond instantaneously, so if it hit an air current up here and didn't hit, or a different air current down here, it wouldn't just flip it over. They had to respond instantaneously, and gyroscopes and all this stuff. And so he finally figured all of this stuff out. Well, then he calculated how fast nerve impulses. He said it's orders of magnitude too slow to play ping pong. No way we can play ping pong based on nerve impulses alone. It's sort of like having a cell phone for every cell. Okay? And the nerves are just sort of the hardwired backup phone. Only these cell phones won't fry your brain. Okay? And the DNA is this quantum coherent antenna that connects every cell to every other cell. And not just every cell in me, but every cell in you and every cell in everybody. And we think that the ORMUS is involved in this communication system. We think that it's like, okay, a lot of us have dead batteries in our cell phones. And damaged DNA, broken antennas, okay? And probably from using cell phones. But anyway, these dead batteries, we think the ORMUS works as a battery charger to recharge this, pull this energy from this infinite source of energy, 0 point energy, pull this energy in and make it available to the cells, and also to cause resonance changes between the cells. Probably in the water, the tubulin and the microtubules of the cells probably create this communication system that resonance connects all of this information to everything and everybody. And it connects us to this spirit antenna. They would in effect provide a direct, instantaneous communication connection to everywhere at once, an energy connection. I've heard that the world is divided into two groups of people. Those who divide the world into two groups of people and those who do not.
Very good.
Yeah, I've heard that. Well, this is a connection with everything. And this incredible communication system between all of the cells of the body. And, you know, Dr. Peter Garriev and Dr. Vladimir Proponin have proposed something called the DNA phantom effect. Basically what they did was they took some DNA and put it in a container and shot a laser through the DNA, okay? And then measured the interference pattern on the target behind the laser. And they found that the empty air, first they shot the laser through the empty air because they wanted to have something to compare it to, you know. And then they shot it through the DNA, and then just to check, they shot it through the empty air again. Well, the problem was, the second time they shot it through the empty air, they got the DNA pattern again. This was weird. This was done in Russia. And so they replicated. They did it the next day. And they still got the DNA pattern. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, for 30 days, for a month. They were still getting the DNA pattern. And they couldn't figure out what was going on. Why? It wasn't in the air because the air in that container had changed. The air had all gone out and new air had come in that 30 days. You know? It wasn't the space because this space was moving around the Earth and the Earth was, you know, moving around the sun and the sun was moving around the galaxy and, you know, we're moving thousands of miles an hour. It wasn't even in the same space. Something was, this pattern was there somehow, let's say in the implicate order, in this non-physical template. And they say that this is a non-physical, a spirit template for our physical DNA. Maybe the DNA is just the antenna that picks up this information. I told this story. I was in San Francisco about 8 years ago, and I told this story there, and some people came in late, you know, like Farrell. Farrell came in kind of late. Hi, Farrell. And they came in, you know, about this time, you know, and in fact, they came in just as I just finished this slide. And so I stopped and said hello, and my name, it was a small group. My name's Barry Carter, and well, I knew some of them. I knew a couple of them. One of them was a PhD guy, works at a university in California, in the Bay Area, and the other one was his assistant. The name was Masumi, and then there was a third guy. He was kind of wearing a dark trench coat, and so hello, my name is Barry Carter. What's your name? He said, Vladimir. He said, you're not Vladimir Proponin, are you? Yeah. See, that's quantum coherence for you. I was just doing this slide and he walks in.
Wow.
That was so incredible. And things like that happen, you know, they happen pretty regularly. Because when you improve this connection, things line up. Things line up better.